Welcome to week 2 here at the Knowledge 2020 Digital Experience. Now, the theme for this week is build, and in the next couple of minutes or so, we'll talk about why. I'm Georgie Barrett, and I'm your host for Knowledge 2020. So we kick off the week with a lineup that is not to be missed. If week 1 was anything to go by, then you guys are in for a treat. And let me just tell you, this Knowledge 2020 digital experience is already by far the largest gathering of the ServiceNow community of all time. This is a truly global meetup. We have customers and community members joining us from over 140 countries, enjoying it in 11 different languages, which means more people in more countries are getting in on this incredible sharing of knowledge. So what does week 2 bring with it? Well, it's time for CreatorCon. Now, I'm sure you already know, but CreatorCon has almost become an event in its own right due to not only its size, but also the very unique nature of its community. We have so much in store for you, and you'll see many familiar faces, including your host for this week, Chuck Tomasi. Now, you may know, if you've been around for a little while, that CreatorCon is now in its 6th year, and it is the place for builders and developers to get educated, get inspired, and connect. So who better to start the event than someone who's been instrumental in building the Now platform itself, ServiceNow's Chief Technology Officer and Senior Vice President of DevOps, Pat Casey. Pat, hello.
Hi, Georgie. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. So Pat, here we are at CreatorCon in our sort of new virtual, highly interactive setting. Let me start off by asking you, what's so special about the Now platform for building on from a developer's perspective?
That's actually a really good question. I think the best way to understand it is to tell you something a little counterintuitive. ServiceNow was not founded as an application company, which sounds strange because everybody knows us for our great apps. We had our IT apps, our CSM apps, HR apps, we got lots of them. But if you roll the clock back when it was Fred Luddy and me and 5 or 6 other people working in the basement of our VC.
I love it that you went to the basement when you were a startup. That's perfect.
Oh, it's worse than that. It was a basement with one window about 8 feet up in the ceiling. It was like one of those 1950s prison movies. But we were sitting there in stall log 13, and we didn't think about ourselves as writing applications. We thought we were building a platform that was going to let regular people build business applications. And in a sense, we sort of missed that a little bit because, like, my mother, she's a great woman. If she's listening, hi, Mom. She's a healthcare consultant. She's smart. She's probably not going to build an app on ServiceNow. But at another level, we hugely succeeded because we really expanded the list of people who could. Maybe 20 years ago, you pretty much had to be a CS or a double E person to write business applications. But with ServiceNow, you really don't. If you understand the business problem and can think logically, you can build an app on this platform. And if you are that CS or double E person, you can, of course, use the tools you're familiar with using. But if you don't have that degree, there's different tools you can use that still let you achieve the same things. A really broad spectrum of people will be successful and are being successful building applications on top of this platform.
Brilliant stuff. So it's week 2, it's build week. What do you want CreatorCon attendees to walk away with it at the end of it all?
I'd say 2 things. I think one, first of all, this is an educational system. It is really here for us to teach each other about building apps on top of the ServiceNow platform. Those of us from ServiceNow, we're going to talk a lot about the cool new stuff the platform can do. But if you look at the way these things are set up, most of the content is delivered by you. This is more about people in the community showing other people in the community some of the really cool stuff they've done and how they did it. So goal number 1, walk out being educated on how to build awesome apps on the platform. Goal number 2, though, is a little more kind of emotional, at least for me. And that is I want people to walk out of here feeling inspired. And we say that every year, and frankly, we mean it every year. But I think it's extra meaningful this year because we're all living through a global pandemic, which I don't think any of us could have anticipated or would have anticipated. We are in kind of historical, interesting times. And so at a time like this, I really am reminded that we have certain skills as builders, as engineers, as creators that we can apply to today's problems. And frankly, we have got a target-rich environment today in terms of problems to solve. So that really is my call to action, to get educated, of course, but also get inspired. Take the things that you're learning here today and apply them to the problems you see around you. If it's a business problem in your employer, that's great. If it's a social problem in your neighborhood, that's just as great. If it's a problem just in your own household, that's still great.
Inspired, I like it. You know what, Pat, I'm going to stop you there as I know you have a fireside chat coming up with Chuck that's going to go dive deeper into some of those things. But thank you so much for joining me now.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so as we head into CreatorCon, do be sure to check out everything that's going on. We've got loads of fun stuff, including workshops, breakouts, lightning talks, and much more. Go and explore, go and enjoy. Also, if you haven't already checked them out, come and be among the largest audience ever for our opening and workflow keynotes, as they're still available for you to view on demand. I'm going to be back next week to kick off week 3 of the Knowledge 2020 Digital Experience. But for now, I want to hand you over to your host, who'll be with you throughout CreatorCon, Chuck Tomasi. I'm Georgie Barrett. I'll see you very soon. Chuck, over to you.
Welcome to our 6th annual CreatorCon. I'm Chuck Tomasi, Senior Developer Evangelist at ServiceNow, and I'll be your host this week. This incredible gathering of builders and developers has grown in popularity and size ever since we launched in 2015. And we expect this, our first ever digital gathering, to be our biggest and best yet. As you heard, our theme this week is Build. We want to talk about building new workflows fast when your business needs them most. And we can think of few better examples than what every business on the planet has experienced over the past few months during the COVID-19 pandemic. So we're calling all builders, developers, and architects over the next 2 days. This is your chance to get hands-on, to develop your skills, and to dive deep with the latest in the Now Platform innovations. So let's get going and take a look at everything that's available to you, our army of developers out there. On our CreatorCon channel, you'll have the chances to participate in workshops, attend breakouts, lightning presentations, and the CreatorCon Keynote, where you'll hear from product experts and see demos of some of the latest capabilities on the Now Platform. I'm especially looking forward to my fireside chat coming up soon with Pat Casey, who joined us just a minute ago. I'm going to ask him about ServiceNow past, present, and future. We'll also talk about how our customers have responded to COVID-19. Following that, we have a discussion out of Washington State, one of the states hit first and hardest by the coronavirus. We'll speak with a builder who partnered with ServiceNow to create an emergency response app. And don't forget, CreatorCon continues tomorrow when we share the results of our ever